So I have a story to tell, and I might or might not upload this as a Cerebral solo on my YouTube channel, but I'm going to go ahead and tell the story anyway. So, as some of you or all of you may know, just in case you don't, I currently don't have a car. I currently don't have a car yet, so I'm still taking Lyft and Uber everywhere. So yesterday I called a Uber to come pick me up to go to the gym so I can work out before my shift started a little later that day. And I had a duffel bag with, my clothes, my shower stuff, so I could shower before my shift. I just have to throw that in there for for a little background as to where the story is going. So when I called the Uber was supposed to get there around like 5:50, so I can get there around get to my job around 6 o'clock. And the woman who's supposed to come pick me up stops a few doors away from my house, and I watch her drive right past me while I'm walking down towards the towards my driveway. And she calls me as soon as she stops a couple doors down from my house and asks me where I am. I told her, "You just passed right by me. You're a couple doors down. Can you just reverse and up and turn into the driveway? I'm literally waving right at you." And as I was on the phone with her, she sounded really frustrated that she had to reverse two houses down and turn into the driveway. And she proceeds to reverse, but she reverses across the street from my house and then gets frustrated that she cannot see me. And lately, in the past couple of days, my foot has been kind of bothering me, so I'm struggling to walk a little bit. And not only that, I do have a duffel bag, which is kind of heavy, so I'm struggling to walk with that as well. So I asked her, "Hey, can you turn into the driveway? Because it would be easier for me to get to the car if you could turn slightly into the driveway, so it's easier for me to move, so I don't have to move too much." She then proceeds to turn around. She then proceeds to get very frustrated that I asked her to do that, and then proceeds to turn around, turn into someone else's driveway, but not turn into someone else's driveway. Stop in front of my house, but not turn into the driveway like I asked, because I was struggling to walk. I let her know that, I'm struggling to walk. I have a disability, and it would be easier for me if you could just turn into the driveway. And as I was telling her this, she was asking me, how am I supposed to turn into the driveway when there's cars in the driveway? But just for context, I've asked people to do this recently, as far as turning into the driveway so it can be easier, and there has been no issues. Everybody's been able to do so, whether there's been cars in the driveway or not. Even if there's cars, they turn slightly into the driveway, not all the way in, just to make sure they don't hit the cars, but it gives me enough space to move. And then, so she gets frustrated that I asked her to do that, and at this point, I'm getting frustrated. So to myself, I'm saying, okay, I'm going to prove to you that I'm struggling. So I'm trying to walk with my duffel bag, and she sees that I'm struggling. She sees that I'm struggling to walk, and then gets frustrated that I'm taking so long. So I asked her, "Would you mind helping me? Because I'm struggling to walk. I can't really walk and carry this." And she proceeds to tell me, "No, I can't help you because I'm not getting up and I'm not touching anyone." And at this point, I'm really frustrated, and I said, "I'm struggling to and I told her, but I'm struggling to walk." And then she proceeds to ask me, "Well, can't you ask someone to help? Well, can't you just call someone to help you?" And mind you, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, so everyone in my house is asleep, and it makes no sense for me just to turn all the way back around, hobble my way back up the driveway just to go into the house to ask someone, "Hey, do you mind helping me go 2 feet to the car?" When she could have just turned into the driveway. And when I mentioned that everyone was asleep and that there was no one to help me, she basically told me to wake someone up who was asleep just to help me. And then after after I'm trying to walk and to move to the car, which I can't really get to because she did not turn into the driveway like I politely asked, she basically said, I can't. She basically said, I'm sorry, I can't take this ride. You're going to have to cancel, and then drove off and made me cancel. So that's what happened. So that's what happened to me yesterday, and it was really frustrating because that's something that doesn't happen to me often or at all, because most Lyft drivers or Uber drivers, anytime they see me walking or anything, common decency is they always ask, oh, do you need help? And most of the time I don't need help. I usually have it for myself, but even still, they come out of the car and they help me to the car whether I needed the help or not. But this but having this happen was just really frustrating, because it kind of reminded me, like, not everybody is a decent human being, and everybody is kind of out for themselves. Obviously, you know that going in. Obviously, you know that about the world, and some people are going to be. And I'm sorry for to say this, because I know some of my followers don't really curse. So, the Johnny and Tamiko, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say some people are assholes, and this lady wanted to be I'm not going to say the word, but a female dog about the whole situation, and it really kind of reminds me, like, hey, even though there are decent people in the world, I gotta remember, like, yeah, not everybody is going to be considerate of everyone's dealings and things going on. So that's one of the things, as far as having a disability, that's still kind of frustrating. It's kind of because people don't really want to be considerate of those things. And I ended up getting a refund for my cancellation fee. I ended up reporting the lady. I won't be connected with that lady, and I ended up getting free Uber money. And I'm not sure, but her account might have also been deleted as well. So I went through the proper steps and the proper channels to go through that. But I wanted to just tell this story, just to say that and then it goes back to having a disability isn't always easy, and people aren't always going to be understanding and considerate of your situation. So just make sure you keep good people around you, and also work on striving to be better. Work on striving to be better, and work to be stronger, and focus on being better. I know I'm going on like a whole tangent, but it was, again, like I said, it was really frustrating to have to go through that when I really didn't have to. All it could have taken was just some common decency to say, yeah, I don't mind helping, or just to turn into the driveway. But some people are going to be difficult in that way. But I just wanted to kind of tell that story, just to keep people aware that sometimes this does happen to people with disabilities. Stuff like this does happen, to where people don't want to be considerate and really want to be difficult and just want to be assholes about things. So yeah, I know this video is super long. I wanted to keep this short, but I tend to start to ramble and go on side tangents. But I hope I got the message across. And if you guys have comments about it, leave them down below, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and what you guys think about it.